Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony, and Moonwalkers Live in a Yellow Submarine. Today, I will be ranking another album ranking, and it's Ringo Starr by the shirt I'm wearing. Yes, I am going to review Ringo Starr, his album, and it's Choose Love album. So this album, in my opinion, I love this album. I will say I somewhat love this song. There's some songs I didn't really like, but overall, I love this album. If you guys have not saw the video that I did an album review of the album Choose Love, Ringo Starr album Choose Love, I already buffering them or resting up already. If you have not check it out yet, links in the description down below if you want to check it out. And yes, I did listen to the album all the way through before I get to the review, so I mean, not just because to hear how the songs go. Well, some actually yes, but this album, this song, I would say I like. I mean, I don't like it, but I love this. I actually somewhat love because there's some that I like from this album, and most of the part I actually loved it. So I'm going to be ranking the tracks on the album's worst to best, or like I said, there's no bad Ringo Starr songs. I'll be ranking it least favorite to favorite, but yeah. So if you didn't know, Ringo Starr Choose Love album is the 14th studio album Ringo Starr has released in his lifetime. And it was released in the US, it was released in June 7th, 2005. In the UK, it was released in July 25th in 2005. 3 days before my birthday. That's a pretty fun fact. But yeah, this album is basically almost like a rockers, and this like not compare, like I know you guys are gonna hate me for this, but this album, I think I already mentioned in that review video where I said this may be the most, if not the most underrated album from Ringo Starr. Because there's other underrated albums Ringo Starr has made over his life, but this is probably his most underrated albums in his lifetime, in the 2000s era, you could say. I mean, you gotta think about it, because this album, Ringo Rama, this album was actually a pretty hit, a pretty hit at the time. It was a hit because this in the chart, it actually made this album. It made it to the charts, but in this album, it didn't make it to the charts at all. But don't get me wrong, the reviews they had for this album was actually pretty good. I mean, they were mixed on it, but most of it, for the most part, they actually liked this album. So, but this album made it on the U.S. Billboard 200, and it was number 113th. Wow, what? That's messed up. But however, it reached to another charts in the U.S. and it was the Billboard Top Independent Albums, and it was number 6. Now that's pretty good. So they must have listened. They must have loved this album. But yeah, this album, Ringo Rama, if you have not checked out my album review of the Ringo Rama album, links in the description down below also. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking the tracks on Choose Love album, least favorite to favorite. So my number 12 for me, my least favorite song in the album is Satisfied. Now this song took me weeks, or actually it took me like a month to know how this song goes. It took me a while, especially because it was new to me to listen to Ringo Starr's albums too. But Satisfied song is like my least favorite song on the album, especially for more listens. But I do like the guitar riffs, and I know how it kind of goes, but it doesn't really go nowhere. Not really. Don't get me wrong. Don't kill me in the comments down below, but it's not my favorite song on the album. And it took me a while to know how the listeners like how the song goes. And number 11 for me, yeah, not really much to say, but I don't hate this song. I don't hate it. It's my least favorite song. I like it, but it's not my favorite. But number 11 for me is the Turnaround song. Now this song, actually I prefer this song more over the Satisfied song because the song did a really good job. It's pretty catchy, especially the chorus especially the chorus, uptown, downtown, you gotta find a turnaround. You know, that's a pretty cool chorus, I'm not gonna lie. But by the way, you probably don't know this, but Barbara Starkey, if you don't know her, she's Ringo Starr's husband. she has a husband, which is Ringo Starr. And Ringo Starr used to have a wife at the time, which was Maureen Starkey, but sadly she passed away really soon at the really young age of 48, and that's pretty sad. And yeah, this is like, yeah, if you probably didn't know that, but yeah, this song, and she passed away in leukemia. That's where she passed away from the cause of death, which was leukemia. Leukemia. But yeah, Barbara Starkey was in this track, the Turnaround. She was in this track, and as the devil's voice from the Turnaround song, you probably noticed it. You probably noticed that weird voice in the middle of the at the beginning of the song. You hear like a weird voice. That was Barbara Starkey. If you didn't know that, because in the lyrics, Ringo Starr says, "Hear the devil say hello." Like that's how it goes, and it's at first I was like, "Wait, what?" That was pretty weird, but then I learned more about what was the song. But I learned more about who did the devil's voice, and I give Barbara Starkey credit for that too. I love it. I love it when Ringo Starr participates his wife to be in one of the songs. That's really good. I like that. So it's not my favorite song in the album. Don't get me wrong. I would personally prefer that song over Satisfied song, because Satisfied wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. Number 9 or number 10. Sorry, I almost skipped a track. Okay, hold on. I almost skipped a track. I can't believe me. I almost skipped a track. Number 10 for me is "Give Me Back the Beat." Okay, hear me out. Okay, hear me out on this song, this one, because many people would put this song a little higher on their list. Because don't get me wrong, the song is catchy, but the subject matter, "Give Me Back the Beat," is pretty dumb. Cause I mentioned this because I don't think I mentioned this in that album review. I didn't mention it, but the whole thing about beats is not a thing in rock. That's what I always say. Beats is not a thing in rock or rock and roll, stuff like that. Because beats is basically more in pop or rap, but it's not in rock. So yeah, the subject matter is what kind of bothered me a little bit. But don't get me wrong, the song is catchy. I have to say, I actually like the song, and that was the second track on the album, so it's a really good song. It's not because of the country feels from the song, because the song is a little like a country song. It's not because of the country, but it's the title. "They Gave Me Back the Beat" was a pretty ridiculous title, and because beat is not a thing in rock. Remember that, people. So we are getting into the great song tracks for me. Number 9 for me is "Me and You." This song is so beautiful, so beautiful. I love the acoustic guitar, and man, this song is great. This song did a really good job on what Ringo Starr, not only what he said in the song, but it's so beautiful. I love the acoustic guitar. It's "Me and You." Like, it's a really good song. Really good song. It's beautiful, and I know you're gonna be like, "Why did you love the song?" Maybe it's probably because of the acoustic guitar. It could be that. It might be me. It could be me, but this song is pretty beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. That's not really much to say. So this is gonna be a quicker album ranking. It's gonna be quicker than before, because in my other ranking, my other album rankings, they're pretty long, because I basically tell you the facts about the song's background and information of how they got this song information. But this album, I don't have nothing to say about the song. Just I love to admire the acoustic, the person that plays acoustic guitar and plays, the drums. Of course, it was from Ringo, of course. So number 9 for me is "Me and You." I love the song. Number 8 for me is "Some People." It's not really my favorite song on the album. It took me a while to know how the song goes, but not longer enough like Satisfied song. Oh, excuse me. Some People, this song is so relevant today. This song is so relevant, because you could basically tell from the title right off the bat. Some people, because the chorus, "Some people can't move on, and some can't let it go, but I can and you can, so we don't have to worry about that." That's basically the chorus, and I like that. And this song is pretty relevant today, especially when you listen to what he says. This song is really relevant today, and it's far cry better to listen to crap music that we like to call popular music these days. And yeah, not really much to say about the songs. Not really much to say about all the songs on the albums or the tracks on the album because there's not really and not really. I didn't really get that too many research about these tracks. There is because if you get, you know, I'll show you. You know, I'll show you at the end of my least favorite. I'll show you. I'll show you what this album looked like if I didn't go deeper into the. I mean, I already dig deeper in that album review of the Ringo Starr Ringo Starr's Choose Love album. So fun fact that this album, if you open up the CD, it has a CD like it has it way back in the day where they had. I mean, this came out in the mid 2000s because in this side it has a CD, but in the back side it has a DVD, which is actually a clever idea. But Paul McCartney, on the other hand, he released Chaos Equation in the Backyard and. He had 2 discs, which was the first disc was the audio, you know, the CD, and the second disc was which was the DVD, the documentary of the film or documentary of the album making. Sorry, like I'll show you what I mean by that. Like I mean like this album, Paul McCartney, Chaos Equation in the Backyard, where this album had. Well, I actually have the special edition just to let you know. So yeah, this album has like a 2 disc. You know, the number 2 in it. It basically it has like if you open it up, it has a CD. It has a CD, but then when you turn it over like so, it has a DVD too. So yeah, it's similar to Ringo Rama album where he has like it's similar to Ringo Rama where like he has 2 CDs because in this one this one is the audio, and when you flip it over, it's Ringo Rama Land, so that's the DVD. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the CD and DVD about this album, Choose Love album. Choose Love album right here. So yeah, some people's song I thought it was pretty good. It's not really my favorite song. It took me a while, but it was kind of hard for me to choose which one. But I was gonna say I prefer Me and You a little more than some people in my opinion. But it's pretty good, and especially because it's really relevant today. So. I choose that over Me and You because it's pretty relevant. That people should listen to that song to listen to more about what we say about what Ringo Starr says about this song. I was about to sing Ringo Rama. I'm a loser. Number 7 for me, Hard to Be True. This song is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually a pretty good song. I would say I actually love this song because sure the beginning can go a little slower, but later on in the chorus is where it gets a little faster and upbeat, and I like that. Time after time. Like, I love that part. It was one of my favorite parts from the song. And I especially love that ending part. It kind of reminds me of the Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here a little bit. It got me, like, it almost kind of reminded me of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, which was Shine On You Crazy Diamond song. That kind of reminds me of it a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then listen to that song. Listen to the song Shine On You Crazy Diamond from Pink Floyd. I recommend you. And I love Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here album. Really good album. And yeah, not really much to say about this song, Hard to Be True. Number 6 for me, Choose Love song. Now this is an album title to this album. And I actually had to say, I actually love this song. I love the guitar riff. That kind of a little bit reminds me of the Day Tripper from the Beatles. Where it has a guitar that has the same, I mean not same chords, but it has like a same feel towards the Day Tripper from the Beatles' single. Because in the Day Tripper it goes like dun 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 dun. But in the Choose Love song it goes dun 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 dun. It kind of reminds me of Day Tripper a little bit, but it's different. If you listen to the song a lot, it will sound a little different, but it'll by the end of the day you're gonna be like, it kind of reminds me of Day Tripper. It happened to me. And by the way, if you guys and girls did not know that this album cover was actually made from a photographer, and it was Barbara Starkey, again a husband of Ringo Starr. If you didn't know, the album cover, she did a really good job on it. She did a really good job on the album cover. So yeah, Choose Love song, it's a really good message. I gotta say, it's a really good message in this song. especially the chorus. I loved it. This chorus, where it's basically him saying, "You've got to pay your dues," because he said you've got to pay your dues. I mean, because I forgot what, because saying you got to pay your dues, it reminds me of the one of the other songs. I think it was from Ringo album. I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't listened to the Ringo Starr's albums in a while because I've been listening to more of System of a Down's albums recently, and yeah. But what Ringo Starr says, no matter what you choose love. And I honestly love this song. It has a really good guitar riff. I mean, sure, it could be a little dated, but it's a good song. I recommend it. And the next number five for me is "Don't Hang Up." Now this is a song that features a backup vocals, and it's Christy Hynde or Hynde. I think I pronounced her last name right. So I did some more I did a research of her, and she was from, and I actually found out that she was the band from the Pretenders band at the '80s band. And don't kill me in the comments down below, but I'm not a big fan of the Pretenders. Although I did listen to the songs, and I actually like those songs, but I haven't been getting listens from them. And I do respect Chrissy as a musician too. I respect her. And when she was featured in that song, "Don't Hang Up" song, she did a really good job on the vocals, especially she still got it from all the years that she performed in the Pretenders. And yeah, this song did a really good job on the vocals. Ringo Starr and Christy Hynde, they both did a good job on the vocals. I loved it. And by the way, if you did not know, Christy Hynde actually inspired Joan Jennett. If you didn't know, Joan Jennett and the Blackhearts. If you don't know, they're an '80s rock band who sing songs like, for example, "Over Rock and Roll" song, or what's the other song? "I Love Rock and Roll." You guys are already familiar with that song. "Bad Reputation" from Shrek 1. I know you guys are definitely familiar with that song from Shrek 1, huh? But yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say. But at the end of the song was actually a little weird at first, but I actually like that ending part a little more than back then when I first listened to it. I was like, wait, what's going on? And it's almost like, because it's called "Don't Hang Up," and it sounds just like a telephone back then, where at the mid 2000s, it's pretty smart idea to make it sound like a telephone. So yeah, love this song. Number 4. "Fading In, Fading Out." This is the song. This is actually an album opening to the album, or this is an album opener to the tracks. And "Fading In, Fading Out" is one of my favorite songs from this album. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite songs on this album. Although I agree, they did advertise, because I wasn't really experiencing this album when it came out, but this song is actually pretty. This album is actually. Oh, I forgot to mention that's the "Choose Love" song. It's funny because, fun fact, if you guys and girls probably don't know this, but this song references a couple of the Beatles songs, song titles. Like, for example, because Ringo Starr said about the song in "Choose Love" song, he says the long and winding road is more than a song. And then the next line he says, which was, "Tomorrow never knows what goes on." It mentions the Beatles, 3 Beatles songs, and that's clever because he's a drummer from the Beatles. And I love that. That's pretty good reference. That's a pretty good reference. So "Fading In, Fading Out" is actually a really good song. It's really catchy. Although I agree, it's a little poppy, but don't get me wrong, it does have some guitars on there, but it's not the poppiest song so far I've heard. Because Paul McCartney, he's made some pop musics, trust me. Don't get me wrong, I love Paul. Don't get me wrong, I love Paul McCartney, but McCartney 2 is basically more of a pop album, and Paul McCartney is basically more of a pop artist, pretty much. Don't get me wrong, his '70s albums is more of a rockers, but in the '80s is where he softens it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has some rock elements in it, but it's basically more of a pop, which, even though pop is not really my thing too much, because me as a metalhead that listens to rock metal musics, different types of metal, and I don't mind Paul McCartney some rock musics as long as he doesn't make most of the pop music's more often, But yeah, enough of that. But Fading Out is one of my favorite songs on this album. And now we are on the top 3 on my favorites. Number 3 for me is Oh My Lord. This song, and no, this is actually what the song title is, Oh My Lord. And I'm not making it as a joke. That's actually what the song is called. So this song, it almost reminds me of George Harrison's All Things Must Pass album, where he made My Sweet Lord, which I haven't listened to that album in a while, dude. I need to start getting into George Harrison's albums and John Lennon's albums. Because I basically got into Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr's albums, but I haven't been getting into John Lennon. I haven't been getting into John Lennon or George Harrison's albums. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's my different taste. It could be it. But this song, Oh My Lord, is such a good song. It's so good. I love this song. Especially because especially another good thing I loved about this song is it's basically almost like a transition from that song Gave Me Back the Beat to Oh My Lord. You can hear the transition, and I loved it. But Oh My Lord song is one of my favorite songs. They had a great backup vocals. I have to say they did a great backup vocals, and I do love the choir too. I loved it. And yeah, and I love that guitar solo in it. I like the guitar solo. And there's other guitar solos that I like more than this song, but don't get me wrong, the guitar solo on this song did pretty good well. And number two for me is Wrong All the Time. Oh my gosh, this song is so good. This song is like one of my favorite songs from this album. And guess what features in this song? Billy Preston. And yes, he is. I know you guys and girls are definitely familiar with Billy Preston, because if you are the Beatles fans for a while, and because if you listen to Let It Be album, you will definitely understand who Billy Preston is. If you guys and girls are not familiar with, if you heard of him before, but if you're not familiar with him, but if you heard of him before or you don't really know who he is, he's a pianist. Or I don't know. But he's a piano player who plays some of the songs from the Beatles. Especially he played the song Get Back song from the Let It Be album. He plays the song Get Back song. And I love that song. Possibly one of my favorite Beatles songs from the album Let It Be. And sadly that Billy Preston, he did a really good job. And sadly that Billy Preston passed away a year after this album was released. Because Billy Preston passed away in June 6, 2006 at a kind of a young age of 59. It's a little young again. It's a little young for me. But it's not too old. But Billy Preston, he did a really good job. And the cause of death of Billy Preston is the kidney failure. And I'm sorry he passed away. And yeah, he did a great job. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this on the Hard to Be True song. He also did the backup vocals for Hard to Be True, by the way, if you didn't know that. But Wrong All the Time is such a good soft music. It's like more of a feel, and I loved it. This song is one of my favorites on the albums. I know it's a slow song. A lot of people love slow songs over upbeat, fast songs most of the times than rock or metal music. But you gotta give fast or rock music a chance. Like you gotta give slow songs more of a chance. Although a lot of people don't like slow songs, this is definitely a good slow song. Even though you don't really like it too much as first listeners, listen to this album all the way through 5 or 6 times. And try to memorize how the songs go in this album, And Wrong All the Time is really good. Even though if it's a little sad what Ringo Starr is saying, but it's so good. I love it. Because, I don't know, something about Billy Preston, the way he plays the piano, it's really good. Number 1 for me, my favorite song of this album is Free Drinks. And I'm not trying to make that as a little mature song title, but this song is actually catchy, good vocals, and lyrics really good. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, so I choose this song, my favorite. It's actually, to tell you the truth, number 1 and number 2 for me was actually hard for me to choose. Wrong All the Time or Free Drinks. It was actually kind of hard for me. But Free Drinks, I actually I prefer that song over Wrong All the Time. Although I love this song, Wrong All the Time, a lot. But this song, Free Drinks, is one of my favorite songs on this. Was actually my number 1 favorite song on the album. For me, in my opinion. Although Ringo Starr's vocals is a little weird, in my opinion. But it's still, I choose as my number 1 favorite song on the album. It's catchy, it's listenable, and it's the final track on the album. I always rank all of the best songs on the last tracks on the album, but most of the times I listen to the last tracks on the album. Most of the times I rank this albums. I don't really rank some. I ranked it the last tracks on the album. I ranked it number one because of how good they are. They are, but some of them, but most of the time, but some of them I don't rank the last tracks on the albums number one. Some of them. So yeah, this song, "Free Drinks," is actually a really good song, even though it sounds a little inappropriate. I mean, not inappropriate. It's a little mature, but I actually love this song. It's one of my. It's actually my number one favorite song from this album. So, do you agree with my list? What's for? So, what's your least favorite? If you had to rank Ringo Starr's "Choose Love" album, what would you rank? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just gonna show you a little quick, just in case if I forget something. I mean, I think I already did this before. I think I did. Where I gave you, I'll just do it again, just in case. I'll just do it again if you didn't know, if you didn't see my other video. I mean, not that, but like, just in case if I forgot something or didn't get a clear, like, focus on the, the clear focus on the what's it called, the other video. Because I didn't check the other video yet, just in case, just in case if the other video was a little, a little too, how you say, a foggy or a little too weird. But yeah, in the back cover of this album, "Choose Love," in the back cover it has a quote: "You can't say anything bad about people you love," by Ray Charles. Heck yeah, Ringo Starr did a good job tribute to Ray Charles. Sadly, another death occurred that Ray Charles passed away in 2004. So I'm guessing this album is because Ringo Starr. I'm guessing he put this quote as a tribute to Ray Charles. And I do love Ray Charles. He's a really good musician, and I admire him as a genius. But yeah, he passed away. He was actually pretty old. He was 73 years old, so he was pretty old. He was pretty old, and I like that. He lives a longer life than most of the people, or most of the musicians lived a longer life. But yeah, Ray Charles passed away in 2004, and yeah. Because I love it where like, I actually loved it when most artists or, most artists and bands have a tribute to, at least they give credit or dedication to them, and I love that. I wish they do that so much often in the modern era. I wish they could do that more often. They could give more credibility to the artists or bands that passed away so soon too. Or band members, I meant, sorry. And the cause of death for Ray Charles was a liver disease, if you didn't know that. It's sad. But at least he lived a long life, a longer life than others, other people. But yeah, I'll just show you what the album cover looks like. Or not the album cover, but what the album looks when I open it up. So yeah, this is the first page and the second page. This is just a bunch of pictures on the top. Just get this a clear focus, just in case if you don't see it very well. So I'm going to do it just in case if I forget. So I'm going to put this on focus, because I don't think last time I put it on focus. Just in case. And this is the second page. There's not really much turning pages, so this is just a really short, album. Like, oh crap, hold on. I almost dropped the camera. Sorry, hold on. So yeah. It looks really colorful, I gotta say. This album, like the cover booklets, it looks really colorful, I gotta say. And this is the final page. So the reason why it's so short, not because that's how albums look back in the days, because it actually has a DVD that actually, well, I'll explain it after I show you this. Another picture on this side. Just put it on focus. And I love how Ringo Starr quotes "peace and choose love," not peace and love. Peace and choose love. Or actually, in the album cover where he goes like this. I should have done that for my album cover. I should do that in my album cover. But yeah, this album I actually loved. So I will give this album 8.5 or 8.4 out of 10, because there's one song that I didn't like, which was "Satisfied." Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it, but it's my least favorite song in the album. But it's okay. It's not my favorite. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to show you what the backside looked like. Wait, hold on. Yeah, so the back cover is where, wait, hold on. Put this on focus just in case if you don't see very well. And on this side, if you probably didn't notice, it has it actually has it says it on the left, it says the CD side, which is an album. Oh, hold on. CD side, which is an album audio, so you just want to listen to the whole entire album. And the DVD side is where it says entire album in enhanced stereo. And the second one says album documentary or album documentary. There's three of them in the DVD side. Or no, actually four. Okay, sorry. And they have the album lyrics. It's really smart and really clever. And the fourth one is a bio and song analyze. So if you guys didn't check my album review of Ringo Starr Choose Love or Ringo Rama or even Paul McCartney's Chaos Equation in the Backyard, links in the description down below if you didn't check out my reviews of the album reviews. And I mean, yeah, I did the, or no, I did the, yeah, I think I, no, I did the review of the Chaos Equation in the Backyard. Soon I'm gonna do an album ranking of Paul McCartney's Chaos Equation in the Backyard. I'm gonna do an album ranking and what are my thoughts about those songs. So this is probably possibly the shortest video I've ever made from album ranking video because there's not really much info on the songs because I mean I have to honestly because I didn't put too much notes into it and I already showed you the DVD of this documentary too, show you the lyrics in the bio. But yeah, but you know what? I actually because I didn't really I'm gonna play it for now. So I'm going to be editing this video out because since I'm gonna put the DVD of the Choose Love Ringo Starr's Choose Love. I'm gonna put the DVD because just in case because I didn't write down the facts about the songs. I didn't even realize it at the back. There was a bio like song analyze. I didn't even put it in the notes. I just listened to the album and then I decided to get into the video. So forgive me, people. Forgive me. So yeah, that was my album ranking. I hope you guys and girls agree. Did you agree with my list of the album ranking? If you had to rank least favorite to favorite or worst to best, like I say, there's no bad Ringo Starr albums or songs. Sorry. And yeah, what were you ranking in the least favorite to favorite? Ringo. So yes, I am. So okay, you know what? I'll just give out my fun facts right now. So Choose Love is full of inspired songs of innocence and experience. The heartfelt and heartening work of someone who's lived a little and learned a lot. This is rousing, rough, and ready rock and roll that lovingly embraces the past, but has its eye very much on our shared future. That's very relevant, and I like that. And it's an album first and foremost about the best choice of any of us have, love. And the long and winding road is more than a song, which Ringo Starr singing in the album titled Choose Love. And one of the most remarkable things about Choose Love is that this far down that long and winding road, Ringo Starr has never sounded more excited and engaged by the music he's making and the message of love that it spreads. Wow, didn't know that actually. What other choice is there? Starr asks as he sits at home with Mark Hudson. If you didn't know, he's the album producer for Vertigo Man. He's the album producer of Vertigo Man, Ringo Rama, Choose, and finally Choose Love. I think oh no, and by the way, he also did the I Want to Be Santa Claus album. Oh yeah, by the way, guys and girls, I also have this album, by the way. I also have the Ringo Starr's I Want to Be Santa Claus. I didn't review the album yet, but I will later on. I just gotta listen to the album a little more. I haven't been listening to the album a lot, so yeah. I'm gonna listen to the album. I'm gonna try to listen to it more and more. And I know it's a Christmas album. Don't get me wrong; it's a Christmas album. I actually like this album. It took me a while. I mean, I didn't give this album a chance, or I didn't give this album a chance. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna listen to this album after I'm done uploading this video. And yes, I am drinking water. What are the choices? Okay, so Hudson is one of his key fellow travelers in the journey of the Roundheads, the loose but tight combo of collaborations. Hudson, Steve Dudas, Gary Burr, and inexcellently Roundhead, Jim Cox, who have worked with Ringo on his recent run of winning albums. So yeah, that's pretty much a fun fact about this Okay, by the way, for Starr, love is a theme of profound and enduring importance. From the beginning, the Beatles were singing "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and "Love Me Do," really good songs. It was all about love, and they're still the most powerful message, which I agree. If you look at the overall picture, the Beatles were about love, and what better subject is there really? That's true. That's actually true because if you listen to the Beatles' early catalog, like their earlier albums, they're basically more about love and loving a girl. But in their later albums, like their later catalogs, their last ones, is where they talk about something else they love. I mean, they did have a little love in their albums, but not a whole lot. Having lost his way somewhere in the first half of the 70s, Ringo Starr eventually found love with his wife Barbara and found his way back to his love of music and at the start of the 90s. And now with the round hits, he rediscovered his rightful place in the world. I am the band member, he declares. That's who I am. That's who I want to be. It takes a band, and even more than it takes a village, to make music like this. By now, we feel like we know each other's minds. We know what we're going. It takes time. Time takes time, which is a reference to his early 90s Time Takes Time album. I don't own the albums. I don't own the album. I didn't listen to the songs on the albums. Forgive me. I apologize. But yeah. The good news is that we've been making records together a while now. And I'm proud of this album shows growth and progress in terms of playing like a band. And that's actually true because you gotta think about it. Because Ringo Starr's "I Want to Be Santa Claus," it had not, it didn't do so well, especially because it was the company Mercury. It was the company Mercury, and they refused. They're just like Sony, the way they did with Michael Jackson's Invincible album, where they refused to promote the album. Because Sony, on the other hand, they refused to promote this album Invincible, and that's why Michael Jackson left, and that's why he hasn't been making a lot of songs later on. I think it could be it. I forgot. So yeah, that's what we are. A well-to-do garage band, says Starr says with a grin. Speak for yourself, Hudson laughs with a laugh. Though the new album features a few guests, notably Christy Hyde, I just mentioned on Don't Hang Me Up, Roots guitarist Robert Randolph on Fading In and Fading Out. I love the guitar solo, by the way. And Oh My Lord, and Billy Preston and Oh My Lord. Billy Preston on Oh My Lord. Ringo and the Roundheads are once again in the beating heart of Choose Love. Every time before we start a new album, we sit down and think, okay, what would we do now on the last album, Ringo Rama? We decided to feature the drumming on that album. It's unbelievable. Ringo was literally the driving force on that album. This time, Ringo wanted to go the other way. He said, I wanted to sound like a band, a little more down and dirty and guitar driven. And as soon as we got on that page, we started writing that way as well. And yeah, that's pretty much okay. There's more, a little more. I think this is the last one. This has been a joy in my life working with the guys. Ringo Starr, what he quote: "You can have fun and you can even have that bad day with each other, and it's not held against you. So you have the freedom to be who you are and still be together." It's been a remarkable run already. But 10 years from now, it will be all blues because that will be the only speed I'll be able to play. That is so true. This is so true. I agree with Ringo Starr. 10 years now, it will be all blues because there will be the only speed I'll be able to play. That's so freaking true. Until then, Starr is proud to spread his own good word. You have to get a lot of experience to get to the point where you can say choose love in an honest ways. He says love is filled with ups and downs, but in a way it's best filled with love. That's my conclusion. That's the best choice of any of us have. Here's what Starr. Okay, so that's just pretty much what they said. Oh, okay, so these are all the songs that what. So I'm not gonna ramble too much about what they said about the songs. Those are all in the documentaries. But you know what? I think I could say this. But you know what? F it. You know what? Screw it. I'll say it all. I'll say all of it fun facts on the tracks. I know you're gonna be like, wait, I thought you didn't write the notes. They're all in the they're all on the DVD side, so forgive me. I forgot to mention it, but some of them are short. You know, some of them are a little long, but some of them are short. I gotta say. On the fading in and fading out song, Ringo Starr said, "You feel like if you die, the world would end, and eventually it won't." Throughout the album, there's a lot of peace, love, and spiritually. So I wrote a line that says, "When I disappear, I hope I left enough love." That's all that you can really leave, and all you really do need is love. You can leave your yes, that's I made a reference to the Beatles' "All You Need Is Love" song from the Magical Mystery Tour album. You can and yes, Magical Mystery Tour album. Oh, hold on. Oh crap. Okay, yes, this album. But that's all that you can really leave, and all you really do. Okay, you can leave your money if you want to and leave the house, but if you've left enough love, that's more important, I feel. Okay, you're not wrong, Ringo Starr. You're not wrong about that. Mark Rodson said at one point Ringo wanted to call the album just Love and have every song deal with the concept, but once we got going, things changed. Ringo quote, I could say, "It's like with Sgt. Pepper. That was going to be the opera. Then after 30 tracks, it was like, sod it, let's just play. This time we had several possible album titles, including One Leg at a Time and Fading In, Fading Out. Ultimately, we thought the thing to say the world is choose love. No matter what you choose love." I think that says it all. Pretty much, I agree with Ringo Starr right there. And the second track, "Give Me Back the Beat," is Mark Hudson's quote, "That started with an idea Ringo had to do with a drum song, using multiple drummers, including Charlie Watts and his song Zach, Jim Keltner, and himself. Ringo quote, "They always have guitarists coming out together on record, so I always thought, why not one for the drummers?" That didn't work out for the record, but then "Give Me Back the Beat" became a love song about beat of the heart. Oh, okay. Because at first I thought the song was about give me back the beat, like the song beats, and I was like, oh gosh. But it's about the heart. Okay, that makes sense. I regret that. I regret what I said earlier. Because that's what happens when you don't watch the documentary or pay attention to what they say. I mean, they do have some notes. If you don't really follow along what they really said, they have notes on it, by the way. And for the drummers out there, this is the first time I've ever done 2 complete drum tracks of myself in one song. And for guitarists, check out Steve Duda's solo. Yes, Steve Duda's also did guitar solos with Ringo Rama too, the album. Oh My Lord, the third track. Ringo quote, "When I wrote Photograph and Back Up Boogaloo," Photograph was from the Ringo album that I also have, by the way. I also have this album, Ringo album. I also have it, and it's a really good album. I recommend you to listen to that album. It's a really good album. And Back Up Boogaloo, which it was that song was in many albums. I think it was on Goodnight Vienna, and also in Stop and Smell the Roses. I had George to produce me, and George was always trying to get into them the words God and Krishna, and I fought it. And now, just with the growth within myself, I have no problem with that now. For Oh My Lord, we begin with my demo, with me and my little crazy organ. George, bless him, had his sweet Lord. This is mine. I did play the song for Olivia when it was a demo because I feel that George would have loved it. I always say God or Lord in a spiritual sense, not a religious way, but I'm big enough to say the word now. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Fourth track, Hard to Be True. So those are all the notes about the tracks. I didn't wrote those on my notes, by the way, so I'll read it to you. Ringo Starr quote, we always 3 guys sitting around and they're the saddest mother bunch in the world. Yeah, because inside of all of us, there's the dog's dead, the wife's left, and the jukebox is broken. Inside, we're all a country song, and half of our battle is to pick it up and write a song where we're not sad. where she hasn't left the dogs fine. Mark Ronson, quote, Ringo is playing this old wordlesser all over this record. To me, playing the middle eight of Hard to Be True, there's something that brings to mind Photograph. The song gives me the same feeling, okay? In the fifth track, I think it's, yeah, fifth track, Some People, Ringo's quote, that's Barbara and I speaking of love. The songs came out of the atmosphere. Mark Hansen quote, it's a great song about the yin and the yang of relationships. If I may mention your old band, we were talking about the song You Won't See Me, which was the song from the Rubber Soul album from the Beatles, right here. Yes, I got all the Beatles CDs. Like I want to get those on vinyls because they're the original sounds. Yeah, You Won't See Me and playing the acoustic guitars. Richie sat down at the drums and started playing the beat for Some People. And it was that moment the song was really born. Ringo said, quote, there's got to be a 12 string on this. And Dudas played another great solo, which I agree. It's a pretty good solo. I forgot to mention earlier. Ringo Starr, quote, every album someone gets, the man of the... Steve Dudas is getting it for Choose Love, which I agree. On that one, I agree. The sixth track, Why Am I Always Wrong? Ringo Starr, quote, I was just having a bad 2 days with Barbara. You're married for 25 years. That's crazy. And you're going to have a few bad days, which we all have that. I just came into the studio on one of those days and said, why am I always wrong? Let's have a cup of tea. Almost a reference to Paul McCartney's English tea. Would you care for a cup of tea? I freaking love that. I love that song. I love Paul McCartney's Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. When I came back and Gary had the start of the melody of that song, just from one line around us, you had to be careful who says that or who says what, because suddenly it became the song. Yep. And the seventh track is Don't Hang Up. Ringo Starr, quote, we were in England doing Don't Hang Up, which is a real story song about two people and a guy in a rock and roll band. And we wanted a woman with, Mark Hansen, balls. Ringo Starr quotes, balls, Christy, if you'll use the expression. Those guys had fun recording the album, I could tell. My daughter knew Christy better than I did. I asked her for Christy's number and we invited her to spend the day and see if she'd like to do it. She was great because she made her part her own. She changed it and made it better. We were very open to her ideas. We're not in the army here. Oh, Ringo Starr is hilarious. Mark Hudson quotes, I love Ringo's drumming on that. I produce a lot of people, but yeah, that's very true. If you don't know, Mark Hudson produced a couple of bands and albums in the past. I believe he produced, I think it was L. Smith. I think I could be wrong. But I don't know fully about him. I could be wrong. I never know the right hand of the drummer to be any greater. Listen to the way he plays the bell and the cymbals. Usually cymbals are considered just a violent instrument, just to crash at the top of the chorus. There's finesse to how Richie plays. That's a lot to those darn kids should listen to and learn from. I agree. Kids these days should learn about instruments, not beats, instruments. Me and You. Okay, oh wait, didn't we already cover this song, Choose Love? Oh yeah, we already did. Okay, sorry. Okay, so Me and You, yes, I didn't do this on purpose, but that's exactly, yes, I put the DVD on, so yeah. Me and You song. Ringo quote, our songs happen when they happen. There are no set patterns. It's organic. Like the food that I eat. Oh, Ringo Starr. So funny. Mark Hansen quotes, Steve Dudas had the chord changes there and a lyric for verse. I played it for Ringo and somehow we ended up sitting in the car writing the song for him there. Just two romantic guys together in the car pouring their hearts out. That's pretty much all you had to hear from the song and background for Me and You song. Satisfied. Ringo quote, Gary Nelson had the first verse for that one. It was all about I won't be satisfied, like I said earlier. And yet again, I'm always trying to take a turn to the positive. So the last verse is mine, I will be satisfied. That's a great example of going from being a teenager who's never sacrificed to a place where you can feel grown up and satisfied. but you have to go through a lot of life to get through there. Yeah, I agree. And I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics in the song Satisfied, so forgive me. Mark Conte quote, there is also the one when Ringo pulled out some very special guitars and let us play them. Quote, Ringo quote, three of my great friends gave me guitars and bought them out for this song and let the three boys play with them. Mark Hansen quote, we switched guitars on every verse, so we all got to play them, which I didn't know that actually. And Rolling Stone, who's been on all our albums pretty much, came in with, I mean, they didn't say pretty much. They said who's been on all our albums. Came in with her girls and gave us the great Wall of Sound ending. Next one. Oh, what the heck? I hate it when it just switches around. Okay, Choose Love Song. Okay, so Choose Love Song. I hate it. They just switch around me and you and Choose Love. I don't like that. Ringo Starr quote, love rocks, and the song rocks too, which I agree. Love doesn't have to be a dark G. Love is up, and so is this song. That's the theme of the record. And we mentioned some songs that I love in it, which I know exactly what he's going to say. This is our love album. Why not choose love? Name a better choice. And yes, I do sing. I love Ringo. You've got to pay your dues if you want to sing the blues. If you listen to my albums, they all have some allusion to either similar to It Don't Come Easy or Back Off Boogaloo. It's somewhere in everyone, which is very true. The Turnaround Song. Ringo quote, that's telling people when you're down, turn it around. You can get back up, which I agree. It's very, I love it. I love the motivations Ringo Starr has to some people out there. Mark Hudson quote, the turnaround was built on the jam. We were in the studio after lunch and Steve Dudas had his guitar plugged into Ringo's old odd amp. Ringo quote, I get more odd things than even things these days. Mark Hudson quote, Ringo doesn't want the Marshall amp. He wants the meatball head amp. On the spot, this groove appeared in this song, and Ringo was talking about back in really old days with Worry Storm. The one song he got to sing was Alley Oop. So at the end of the turnaround, Ringo doesn't sing that song, but he lets you know that he has to sing it. Oh, I didn't know that before. That's what I love about listening. That's what I love about like the DVDs and like getting certain artists as DVDs is like that's why I love getting their certain DVDs is because you obviously learn what their songs what they're trying to say in the end and what they're trying to do, stuff like that. And I like that. That's very awesome for Ringo Starr to do so. Ringo quote, you had to be careful. The last record we borrowed that bit from Let Him In, which was, so I called Paul and said, I'm doing this, okay? He said, well, call the publishers. Well, call the publishers. And I said, no, I'm calling you. Okay, they probably must have had some arguments there. Because what Ringo Starr is basically saying is, he's referring to in that album he made, Ringo Rama, where in the last song, which was called English Garden, he wanted to ask Paul McCartney to borrow a verse or borrow one of the lyrics from the song I Really Love Her, which was a hit track from the English Garden on the Ringo Rama album. And it's from Paul McCartney's, I believe it was Wings Beats at the Sound. I forgot what was that. It's a very, well, I forgot that album's title called. Let me look it up a little bit. Because I actually didn't know this, that in Ringo Rama is where he, for me, in my opinion, Ringo Rama, I thought it was a good album, in my opinion. I thought it was a pretty good album. For me, I thought it was a good album. Yeah, that's what the album's called. Wings at the Speed of Sound, that's what it was called, the album. I'm not good at memorizing too much. So yeah, pretty much, so pretty much Ringo Starr is telling us to be careful of what we're trying to copy someone's lyrics or copy someone like an artist or something like that. And I agree, people these days should do that because sometimes and it's really very relevant today too. And so the final song is the Free Drinks, like I mentioned before. Ringo quote, "That's our boys who are over 21 trying to write a disco Ivazar Lavazza record, and it turned out into this surf spaghetti western. Because I live in the south of France half the time, I was mentioning places over there. It became one of our traditional travelogue songs. Then Steve Dudas did this fistful of dollars guitar line, and we all cheered. Mark Hudson quote, "When I heard that disco beat, I was nervous for a moment. I was like, how are we going to pull this one off?" Ringo Starr quote, "Free Drink started with a loop I made in Morocco on an old synth I have there, and it only got loopier like the song." Which I agree, the song got a little loopier. So yeah, that's basically all you want to hear from that's all you want to hear about the song by song notes. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this. Just checking just in case. Yep, that's it. So if you guys enjoyed my album ranking, it was a little long because I do have to point out the quotes and how they got the inspiration from the songs. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and tap the bell for notifications so you can be notified directly to that video. And if you guys want to check out my album review for Ringo Rama, Paul McCartney's Chaotic Creation in the Backyard, and even the album ranking for that album, Choose Love, all three links are in the description. My social media are in the description, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Change the world. Peace and love. And also, rock on!